I think it's perfect to do this presentation after the presentation from Hungary, because we in Austria want to present a different kind of last mile delivery fulfillment option that is closely related to a self-fulfilling shop, but in a smaller scale. So I want to do a short talk about parcel lockers, their functionality. I want to present a special functionality of cooled parcel lockers for meat and dairy products, and talk about the Vienna initiative that's about building a network of all white label parcel lockers be integrated in one usable app. And I think it's a great addition to the idea of a self-fulfilling shop, but a shop has way higher cost than one parcel locker. And I think in the combination, there could be two really good solutions. So I will talk about the second one. Let me start here. Yes, let me start with a general idea of what a parcel locker is. You can see AI-generated picture on the left. In general, parcel lockers are a combination of different sized compartments in a box complex, different size to the optimization of space use. They are often nowadays built with solar panels on top. Even the next-gen lockers of one provider in Austria is able to move the solar panels with the day going on. So there's always optimal sunlight on the panels. But now it's really foggy outside, so I don't know how much time they can sustain. I think it's about 48 hours, so it's a little bit too short. So this technology is really new, so it needs refinement over the next years. So a parcel locker then enables unattended and automated delivery and collection through self-service technology. Normally, this works like this. Someone who wants to deliver food or something else, he pays for the compartment, puts the good in the compartment, then the consumer or the company who wants to receive the goods gets a notification on their phone, scans the QR code at the locker, door opens, take the good out, close the door again. If the QR code is not working, normally there's a screen where you can type in a dedicated number, and then you can also access your compartment. So this, in theory, enables, as well as with the self-serving store, of 24/7 potential to be used. So therefore, you're not restrained to special delivery hours. You can use this infrastructure through the digitalization of the delivery process, in theory, anytime, and especially on off-peak hours. So that's in big cities a really important factor, when to do delivery and when to get your goods. We have like two different kinds of parcel locker system operating. There are closed systems, so they are only accessible for the company who built them, for example, Amazon. And there are open system, and open system are the one we prefer or we should prefer in a city, because they, in theory, want to integrate all parcel cab providers, all last mile delivery persons, and private people as well. We will see this when I talk about the Vienna network. So in an open system, it is even possible to do click and collect for really small family businesses or small businesses who don't have the money to have a click and collect person, but they can use a locker system for delivering food or other goods. Most critical success factor, as you might realize, is the choice of location. It's not only important to have a good location for the delivery to take place, so maybe you need a parking space, but also there's a location where the people who take the goods, the food out of the parcel locker, are not needed to drive by car. If the people go there not by car, but with public transportation or by foot or by bicycle, we have great environmental gains through this technology. So it's a big if, but if the location is good and there's no secondary emissions, as we say, we have an additional, not only a solution for the last mile delivery for food, but also an environmental gain. And therefore, parcel lockers could be a part optimization last mile delivery in general, and especially for foods. Now, as you all are smart listeners, you might ask yourself, but what about cooled products? We will talk about this in the third step, so be patient. At first, we want to talk about the integration Austria has achieved. There is a company called NEXTBOX. You can access the homepage under www.nextbox.at. It was an initiative from the Vienna Stadtwerke concern, and they tried to integrate all parcel lockers providers in one app. Because then for us as customers or for AFN, it's really easy to access the whole network and not only one provider. In this example, if you look at the map of Vienna, there are basically three big providers that are active in Vienna, and those, in theory, you need three different accesses, so an app and onboarding process for all three providers. But in Vienna, you can use one access through NEXTBOX. So there are umbrella brand basically over all the parcel locker providers. And therefore, it is way easier to access this digitalization tool for AFNs. And then you can book a compartment. If you are a bigger company, for example, really advanced AFN, you can even integrate an API application. So in your fulfillment on your homepage, basically in the checkout process, people can already book a certain locker where your goods or services need to go. So for big companies, there's you can integrate it in your system, and for small businesses, you can book dedicated compartments in parcel lockers at the location that's needed. You can see here the network is always growing, but in Austria, they have more than 1,400 lockers and more than 70,000 compartments. Most of them are, or half of them are in Vienna. That's quite natural because nearly half the population is living in Vienna of Austria, or in the eastern region. So that's fine. NEXTBOX wants to develop even more. They want to develop a really great accessible app. Basically, I think it's a hard project to develop an app, so they're in the development process right now. But if an app is available, this app could be integrated in all the Vienna service apps that are already available in Vienna. So public transportation, public energy, all those stuff. And it would be integrated in those appliances as well. So the usability would grow even more. And then it's part of the big ecosystem of the Vienna city company. So now back to your question, as you were all interested listeners. What about cooled products? We have one company, it's called ROSY'S, and they have cooled parcel lockers. So not only are you then able to deliver your jam or your potatoes, but you can deliver cold products, meat and dairy products. Those lockers you can see on the right. They are at two dedicated locations. I think they have 4 to 5 lockers at the moment, so it's a young company. They have 2 at central locations in the city, in the inner districts. And this locker you can see right here is at the beginning of a big public housing compartment, housing complex. So what this locker enables then is that the direct sale of fresh fruit without intermediaries, because you can use the ROSY'S app and as an AFN go there, book your compartments, do a bundled delivery to a locker. That would be the optimized case, and then deliver like meat in one compartment, dairy in another, and 2 customers or even more fetch their fresh AFN goods out of the Vienna greater area. They offer real-time temperature tracking, but they never had any problems with temperature surges. So the cool chain was always there and had never power and never a problem. They also use green power through the solar panels. You can't see, but they are on top. but they have a big battery integrated because, and I think at some locations they even are connected to the normal electricity network for backup power, because cool chain is really important. They have always power. In theory, or what they got certificated by concerning the SDGs, there could be a 80% reduction in CO2 emissions if you use a ROSY'S locker. You can find the details on their homepage. It's rosys.at with all their special SDG certificate. They're really proud of that because that's part of their mission, not only bringing regional products to the customers and connecting like farm to fork AFNs and the consumers, but also to do their part in a sustainable future. So to wrap it up shortly, parcel lockers in theory could bridge the gap between regional food producers and urban consumers. It's highly depending on the integration in a network. So the usability of this digital infrastructure tool is really, really important. It's a really new technology, so it's growing, and it has some problems, to be honest. And scalability is one, and the expanding of cooling technology is really important for those products who need that.